Today we're diving into a topic that's quite often misunderstood. It's the idea of the addictive personality. Is there such a thing at all? So let's unpack the evidence and see what the science says. Some psychologists have argued that the concept of an addictive personality is not just plausible, but necessary. They suggest that without it, everybody in the same environment would be equally vulnerable to addiction. For example, if addiction was solely about the environment, all the people in the same circumstances would equally struggle with addiction. But that's clearly not the case. So why does the idea of an addictive personality persist? It might stem from observations that addiction isn't perfectly correlated with the environment. Some people are addicted to multiple substances or behaviors, which is called cross-addiction. And when some individuals quit one addiction, they replace it with another. And this is known as the idea of reciprocity. An interesting point, though, is that no one's ever really given a clear, universal definition of what an addictive personality actually is. But for the sake of discussion, let's define it as a cognitive and behavioral style that makes someone vulnerable to developing and maintaining one or more addictions. But does this definition hold up under scrutiny? Perhaps not. So let's look at the research. Studies have consistently shown that certain personality traits are correlated with addiction, such as neuroticism, which is essentially being emotionally unstable. And if you have a high level of neuroticism, this is strongly associated with addiction, especially substance use disorders. Alongside neuroticism, individuals who have low levels of conscientiousness, which is essentially struggling with self-discipline and goal-directed behavior, are more likely to show addictive behaviors. Some other trait types, such as sensation seeking, which is a tendency to seek out novel and risky experiences, has a relatively moderate link to alcohol use, especially the disinhibition component of sensation seeking, which is acting impulsively and often without restraint. Smokers, compared to non-smokers, tend to score higher on neuroticism as well as extroversion. While these various traits such as neuroticism, low conscientiousness, sensation seeking, and so on are correlated with addiction, none of these traits predict addiction universally. Many people in high neuroticism or in low conscientiousness never become addicted. And many addicts don't share these traits. As the idea of some type of general addictive personality, it has been argued that it is a myth. With any addiction, there are often multiple subtypes of individuals, each with unique reasons for their behaviors. And this aligns with what's called the biopsychosocial model. And this essentially is a model which combines these ideas of the biological, the psychological, and the societal. For the biological, genetics play a role. Children of alcohol-dependent parents, for example, are 3 to 4 times more likely to develop alcohol dependency themselves. For the psychological, stress, trauma, and mental health conditions contribute to addiction risk. And the social, such as environmental stresses, peer influence, cultural norms, and family dynamics all play their part. Combined, these 3 factors are a much more reliable way of predicting addictive behavior. So why does the myth of the addictive personality persist? And one problem with the idea of this persisting myth is that it can shift responsibility away from the individuals, making it seem like addiction is something they're destined for rather than something they can work to overcome. In reality, not all addicts have personality disorders. Not all people with personality disorders develop addictions, and overcoming addiction often requires personal responsibility and ownership. So in conclusion, is there such a thing as an addictive personality? Overall, the evidence suggests no, there is not. While personality traits like neuroticism and low conscientiousness and sensation seeking can contribute to the risk we have for having an addiction, there is no single personality profile that makes someone an addict. The evidence today suggests that addiction is a complex phenomena, a combination of biological, psychological, and environmental factors. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.